Hey, welcome to our episode of Chaz Beer Reviews. Getting really close to 4,000 subscribers. When I hit 4K subs, I will get a 4K camera. So share the show with a friend and get them to subscribe, and just gets us a little bit closer to higher quality video. Anyway, tonight's beer, this is one that I got not on the last Tavor crate, but the crate before that one, back before Christmas. This one's called Bourbon Barrel Deduction. Belgian-style double ale aged in bourbon barrels from Taxman Brewing Company. So they do like a whole series of Belgian-style beers, and like they have a series within the series of where they actually bourbon barrel age them. They're out of Bargersville, Indiana. 8.5 ABV, 20 IBUs, no canning date. That's kind of disappointing. All right, so I pour it into the glass, and it looks like I guess you call it like kind of a chestnut mahogany color, pretty clear. It's pretty dark once it's in the glass. Get a bit of a off-white or beige foam, but it just fizzles away like a soda. And as you can see, it has completely fizzled, which isn't quite unusual. I thought this beer was pretty timely, since Christine and I just did the Tuesday Night Beer School on the Belgian double style a few nights ago. So check that out if you haven't seen it. So let's give this one a whiff. I would say that the bourbon character definitely overrides the base beer, because I'm definitely smelling bourbon on here. It's the smell of bourbon. It's a woody vanilla kind of essence. I will say, like, there is a dried fruit presence. That's something that we noticed on the beer school, is that the doubles tend to be like all dried fruit. They don't get like cherry or plum or anything like that. It's mostly like raisin and dates and things. So yeah, I would say this one's pretty raisiny. I can definitely tell there's alcohol in there, but it's like a clean alcohol. It's not like rubbing. It's not salty. It's not solventy or anything like that. Maybe a little bit of black licorice. I think I actually get like kind of like well, I mean, there's definitely vanilla, but almost like maybe like a tiny little bit of like milk chocolate, like a candy kind of suggestion. So if it tastes as good as it smells, I'm going to be happy. Cheers. Well, I will say that the taste is kind of like what I said on the nose, is that the bourbon character pretty much overrides that Belgian double base. Because pretty much all I'm tasting is just classic, if you've ever had bourbon barrel aged any kind of beer, like that's what I'm getting. I'd say it's like a little woody, not quite as woody as like Bourbon County or KBS or Dragon's Milk or anything like that. But I will say it doesn't have like that kind of gross amateur Kentucky barrel, whatever that Alltech Brewing or whatever it's called. It doesn't taste like that. The double Belgian base brew is a little subtle. I mean, I could smell it, but I unfortunately can't really taste it that much. I can taste it. I don't want to say I can't taste it at all. Raisin, date, fig, something like that, but I'd probably say raisin. It's like the most prominent. I do get like, I definitely can taste the alcohol on here. 8.5, which is, it's funny because like 8.5 used to be huge, and like now it's kind of run of the mill. I will say, like, it's not nearly as intense as like Bourbon County or KBS or something like that, but for 8.5, it's pretty strong. I get like a little bit of warmth in the throat. I'll say it finishes pretty malty. In fact, the whole beer is pretty malty. There isn't really much in the way of hops here, or again, there's no coffee or anything like roasty, or like there's no spices in here as far as I can tell. They didn't mention spices, so it's all pretty much everything on this beer is on the malty end of the spectrum. Definitely tastes like actual. If you ever had Belgian candy syrup, you're homebrewed with it or been to a brewery, like the way that candy syrup tastes, it's basically just raisins, dates, and figs, ground up into a paste, and that's what I'm tasting here. Yeah. So as far as like a bitterness for balance, I think there's like kind of a subtle but noticeable, I'd probably call it like earthy or floral kind of hoppy presence. Maybe like a tiny little bit peppery. This is not, even though this is a Belgian style. The yeast on it is, pretty subtle. Get like maybe like a little bit of clove. I wouldn't call it like smoky. I would definitely not call it banana. As far as mouthfeel, it's for what it is. It's actually a little thin. I thought it'd be a much bigger, more intense mouthfeel. I'd probably put this at about medium at most, maybe even like a little under medium. Maybe it just seems thin because it seems a little undercarbonated to me. It seems like usually the actually all single, double, triple, quad, they all tend to be, like moderately high to straight up high champagne kind of carbonation. And this one is, I might even call it like moderately low. I will say it is very smooth though. I'd say the taste here it's pretty good. It's not to like the extent of your Hall of Fame bourbon beers like KBS, CBS, Dragon's Milk, Bourbon County, something like that. And I've had a few other bourbon barrel beers from this brewery. They all do, and they've been good. They haven't been great. For like a smaller brewery, I will say, they're pretty good. It's not to like the, just not quite to the caliber of your Goose Islands or your Founders or something like that. By the way, I got this on 𝗕𝗿𝗏. It was only $6.49 for one can, which I thought was pretty good, so I picked it up. If you want to sign up with 𝗕𝗿𝗏, use my link. You get $10 off your first purchase. Let them know that I sent you, or I sent you. So the score for the Bourbon Barrel Deduction, it's good. It's not great. I'm going to say 7 out of 10. Yeah, 7 out of 10. Kind of like a 3.5 out of 5. Kind of a B kind of beer, maybe even B minus. I think like it's a little unbalanced as far as like your Belgian base brew and your upper level bourbon barrel character. But it's tasty. It is easy to drink. For 8.5, I'm just kind of like, this is no problem to just throw back. I prefer like maybe I think it's like a little undercarbonated, a little bit more body would be nice. But otherwise, it's good. It is not great. But I'm glad I bought it. I think $6.49, considering what it is and how, the ABV and all that, I think that's a pretty good deal. So again, check out 𝗕𝗿𝗏, link in the description below. I am rambling. If you watch all the way in, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys for your Chad's Beer podcast. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews.
Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.